Hey guys, I just got off a very, very powerful coaching session with one of my first clients, and I feel really inspired to make this video following up with that because I feel like, this client really gained a lot of clarity in today's session, and it really reminded me that it's something that we all kind of struggle with, especially in the beginning. But even if you're a seasoned manifester, it's something that kind of creeps up every now and then, and that's kind of over identifying with the how, trying to kind of figure out, okay, how am I actually going to get my manifestation? Because I want this thing, but like, Justin, I don't see it yet. I don't see it in my reality. How am I gonna, take the money from my imagination and bring it into 3D reality because that's what I really want? Or how do I get the relationship right? Because I just don't have it. And that's one of the many traps when it comes to, the 3D and this whole conscious manifestation game. And so it's really about unhooking yourself from this need to figure out how things are going to work, right? Because as a conscious creator, the whole point is to transcend appearances, is to transcend circumstances, right? And to know yourself as the operant power, as God of your reality, and not needing really 3D to tell you who you are, tell you what you're going to experience. I mean, I say this all the time, but really, this is the key nugget of law of assumption, of conscious creation, of really what all the spiritual teachers like Buddha and Jesus were trying to say. Before we get a little bit deeper into the video, though, I want to introduce myself if you do not know me. Hey, my name is Justin. Welcome to my channel. This is my reality. In my reality, on my channel, right, we talk about conscious creation, spirituality, Neville Goddard, law of assumption, and so much fucking more. So if you're interested in the things I talk about, if you want to dive a little bit deeper and, really understand the mechanisms of law of assumption and conscious creation, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thumbs up this video. It gets this video out to more people, and I really believe, like, this is information that's valuable that could really change people's lives and help them step into the best version of themselves. So I appreciate that. I've said it in my previous videos, but there are ways to work with me. I do offer one-on-one monthly coaching, email coaching, and I have a reality reset experience, which is pretty fucking amazing. But all those platforms, all those offerings are just, if you need them. They are all additional, they're not required, because you can manifest without coaching. You've been manifesting your entire life. So anyone who tells you differently, run for the fucking hills because that's just not true. But yeah, let's get into the video. So it was this, kind of, it was this point from my client where they realized actually that, oh my God, this is where I've been tripped up. I keep over identifying with the how. Like, I'm really not fully jumping to my end. I'm kind of halfway there, right? Sometimes I am assuming my end, but most times it's like, I'm having a hard time accepting it as done, because if I truly was accepting it as done, I wouldn't be noticing, I wouldn't be placing my awareness that it isn't here yet. And we're human, right? Like, we're not always going to be in the wish fulfilled. We're gonna have moments, some days where it's hard for us to kind of accept that what we want is already ours, that we are the operant power of our reality, right? And then other days, it's really fucking easy to accept something as done and to you're just in your God state, you're in your flow state, right? And so it's not blaming or shaming ourselves when we're not in that state of mind, but at the same time, when we kind of unhook ourselves from 3D, from that logical way of thinking, then we can start to remind ourselves who we are and reselect what we want to experience in reality. And I was trying to tell this client, right? Like, oftentimes it is the negative experiences that in the moment it's completely fucking opposite on what we're manifesting, on what we're intending, right? On the inner work that we've been doing. So it's sometimes confusing, like, why the hell is this popping up when I've been doing all this work? When I've been reprogramming my mind and working on my self concept and affirming and visualizing and doing all these things, right? And really seeing progress more times than none. Why am I still getting triggered sometimes? Like, what's going on? But again, I was trying to remind this person, right? Like, we're human. We're going to have our days where, you know, we're just not in it, we're just not feeling it, we might be spiraling. But it's about returning to that decision and using that circumstance, that experience, right, as almost a permission slip to know yourself deeply as God, to experience your God state more fully, right? And if everything was just cherries and fucking rainbows all the time, like, how would we really grow? How would we really evolve? How do we really know ourselves as God, right? Because a part of this experience is transcending circumstances. It's claiming something different for ourselves than what 3D reality is showing, than what people are telling us we can receive, right? It's going beyond that, it's claiming something as true as available now, right? And so it's really helpful to remember that if you can take anything from law of assumption away, really the biggest key is what you decide to be true is true for your reality, right? And we can often forget that. We can often be so like attached and tied up with these techniques and doing all these things to kind of get us in the wish fulfilled that we kind of bypass and miss the whole point, right? The whole point is to already assume something as done. And it's what you're dominantly thinking, it's what you're dominantly assuming, it's how you're for the majority of time showing up in your world, right? And so when you're noticing, right, like the lack, when you're noticing that it isn't here yet, when you're noticing that, okay, all these other things have manifested and it's great and all, but why the hell isn't this person conforming? Why the hell aren't they completely showing up the way I want them to? That's the key right there. That's showing you, that's telling you, right, that, hey, you are at least in this moment, in the awareness that it isn't here yet, it isn't done, and if you truly knew it as done, you really wouldn't be questioning it, and if you are, it's because you're letting 3D reality tell you who you are. You're letting circumstances and appearances sway you, dictate you, and tell you, okay, this is what you're going to experience, right? And so, again, I've said it before, but it's about unhooking yourself, detaching yourself from 3D reality in a way where you're not disassociating, in a way where you're not, bypassing or anything like that, harming your mental health. But in a way where you know that this is just inevitable for you, that it doesn't matter what 3D reality is showing you right now, that you've already made up your mind, that you've already decided, and therefore you've already jumped to that reality where you have your manifestation, right? It's just that you're giving 3D reality more importance. You're giving outer reality, physical reality, the say so, right? And it's normal. I mean, we've been taught that 3D reality is way more tangible, way more real than our imagination. Our imagination is just fantasy. You know what I mean? Our thoughts aren't creating. I mean, that's the doctrine that we've been programmed with, generation after generation, society after society, right? It's that victimhood consciousness, right? It's that separation consciousness that the world's out here, you're here, and you have no influence over it. And I do want to say, because I told my client this, right? Like, there's a difference between controlling reality and just knowing that you are selecting reality and that you do have, a say so. But, and speaking in terms of vibration, like, feel the vibration, feel what it means and how it feels when I say controlling reality. It's like we have this tight grip, we have this chokehold on our desire, on our manifestation, right? When we're trying to control, when we're trying to manipulate, when we're trying to take action out of desperation, right? Like, that's fucking repellent. That's actually that's just confirming the identity that, you know, you're separate from your desire, that you need to do something outside of yourself to obtain something, to be worthy of something, right? It's really reframing that mindset and knowing that, hey, like, I'm just redeciding, reselecting, reclaiming something for myself when I visualize, when I affirm, right? It's not about doing something, saying something so many times and literally frying your fucking brain when you don't want to be affirming, when you just want to be enjoying your life. because you're in such desperation to get your specific person or to get the money, right? Or to have that health that you deserve. And so it's understanding, yes, we are the operant power of our reality. We create our reality 100%, right? We're all doing it. We're all in our own little reality bubbles, right? But you're not controlling reality in a way, you're not trying to pull all the strings and move all the pieces around, you know what I mean? That's not your job. Your job is not to figure out the how. Let God, let your higher self do its job, right? Your job as the avatar is to create, it's to experience, it's to find fulfillment within life and within yourself and know yourself deeper as an expression of God, right? But you weren't supposed to ever really have the bird's eye view. You weren't supposed to be in charge of moving all the pieces around and figuring out all the circumstances. Like that's your higher perspective job. So just kind of surrender and let go that as soon as you decide something, the second you decide something, you place your awareness on having something or claiming something as true for yourself, you have that. But it's almost as if we do that, right? And then the next minute we decide, oh well, this isn't working, because I don't see any evidence saying that this is working, so it can't be working. Okay, so you jump right back to the reality where you don't have it, because you're always proven right on a moment to moment basis. In every present moment, you are making a decision, you are declaring an assumption, whether that's consciously through affirmations or visualizations or just having a feeling, having a fear, right? Like in every moment, you are deciding something. So decide that you have it. Decide that you are beyond appearances. Decide that you don't need appearances to tell you to tell you who you are or what you get to have, right? And so it was really that breakthrough moment with me and my client. She was like, oh my god, I have been worried too much about the how, and it's been delaying a lot, right? And I just reminded this person, like, hey, like, don't beat yourself up. Sometimes we need those negative experiences. Sometimes we need to kind of go through something, and then something happens, someone says something, and it just everything clicks, everything unlocks for you. And I intend that that is going to help you guys today because I know there are so many people kind of getting so burnt out over the techniques, getting so burnt out over, wondering when is going to be the day where I actually get my person, where I actually get the money, where I'm not living paycheck to paycheck, right? And I've been there and I get it, you know. But all it takes, is a shift in awareness. All it takes is a shift in a state of consciousness from I don't have it, it's not here yet, it's probably never going to come, or if it does come, it's going to take X amount of years, right? And knowing that, okay, well, every moment is a now moment, right? All we can ever experience is a present moment. And so it can be this now present moment that I have it just because I decide it, just because I claim it to be true for myself, right? So I'm intending that this really helps you guys because I know some of you are really burnt out over your manifestation. You've been affirming for something, you've been doing all these techniques for so much, and you just want to live, you just want to enjoy your life. And I get it. We shouldn't be here obsessing over a manifestation. We should be here creating, enjoying our lives, right? And so if you could just focus a little bit, maybe just like 51%, right? A tiny, tiny, tiny bit more than half on having your desire than not having your desire. If you talk more about how much you already had your desire and visualized and affirmed the positive aspects of your reality of all the things that are working out for you, right? If you gave that more attention than you did the lack and the separation, then things would, change for you so much quicker. But I get it. Like we're all on different journeys. It all takes sometimes different experiences to reach different levels and states of consciousness, right? That's what manifestation is. It's just about deciding something is true for you now, even if it wasn't true before, even if it's never been true for you. It's about assuming something without evidence of your assumption. So that's all I really want to leave you guys with. I intend that this video really helps you manifest faster, manifest quicker, and just kind of drop the how a little bit. Again, there are going to be days where we kind of, go back and revert back to the old story and kind of focus on the how. But remember, it's not your job. It never was. Your job is to create, it's to love, it's to experience. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm going to go enjoy some sunshine, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.